Hey y'all, it's January the 28th, 2018, believe it or not. Y'all, I wanted to share something, and I think it's kind of pretty crucial that we share it. Alright, so that's why I'm making this video. Um, I was given a comment earlier, and I was inspired to make this video by the comment from a longtime subscriber and YouTube companion of mine, JK. And I'm actually not sure if JK is a boy or a girl, but it really doesn't matter. JK, something or other. But you know who it is, and I'll give you a link. You go check out the comment if you want. The video right here was inspired by that comment. Shout out to JK, man. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. I want to discuss something. When it comes to the majority, especially of very public figures who are discussing, results or solutions or this and that about justice when it concerns Caitlin Nicole Davis. One of my biggest, not problems, but one of my biggest concerns with most of them is that, well, of course they disagree with me. The thing is, most people in the world disagree with me. I promise you. About all sort of stuff. And of course, each individual out here is going to disagree with somebody about something. We're all going to disagree. We're different. All right. So these people disagree with me, but I got to emphasize that is not a problem at all. It never has been for me because I understand most people disagree with me. Right. And that's just the way that it's going to be. The reason I wanted to point out JK's comment is because it struck me as not only quite long, but also quite thoughtful. Very thoughtful. I could tell from reading the comment that this person took my words into account and really dwelled upon them. And I appreciate that. They happen to disagree with me a little bit, and so therefore they wrote a comment, and I appreciate that. I really do. And I'll get into more of that later, but suffice it to say, I really appreciate that, even leaving a comment. But not only that, person left quite a long comment and a very thoughtful one in which they respectfully disagree with some of the sentiments that I made in the video. Like I said, completely all right. I don't mind that at all. In fact, I like it. I really, really like it, and I appreciate it because this person disagrees with me. They're taking the time out to actually share why that is. And, with discussions as thoughtful and as elaborate as this, what I want to stress is that you can't help but eventually come to solutions because people will start to completely understand what's going on in the other person's brain. This is the art of debate. This is why people really, really enjoy debates. It's few people, but the people who do enjoy debates really, really do because they find that so many words are said that they can't help but just grow as a person with knowledge and have all sort of more information in their head after the debate. All right, like I said, most people in the Caitlin Nicole Davis justice thing or whatever, they can't discuss. I mean, they can discuss to a certain point, but if you start saying certain things like I say, conversation's over. In fact, we're running away. In fact, we're probably crying and shaking. Don't ever bring up Jesus, not in the way that Caitlin did. All right, so I want to talk about that for a second, especially in regards to this comment. Like I said, and I want to stress this. All right, first and foremost, I appreciate the comment. I couldn't appreciate it more. All right, the very fact that you took the time out and maybe you're going to show me something. And lots of times people in comments do show me stuff, and I thank them for that. I say, look, I didn't ever think about stuff like this, and thank you. It's the whole point of this. Well, I mean, that's one of the points of this here channel. All right. So the person respectfully disagreed with me, and I thought that was amazing, and I liked it a lot. Appreciate it. All right. But basically, they were talking in regards to Tammy Michelle because the video is about Tammy Michelle. All right. And everything in the comment, I have to agree, is pretty well factual. the evidence given, and I like when evidence is given. The evidence given is very much factual, and I have seen the videos in which, you do get the sense that Tammy, I'm gonna have to put quotes, loves Caitlyn, and you do get the sense that Caitlyn also loves Tammy. All right, and to deny that would be to deny evidence, and that's not really something I do. To be honest with you, I'll take in every last little bit of evidence, and that is true. Caitlyn did say that she loves her mother, and you do get the sense that Tammy loves Michelle, but I had to put that with quotes. All right, my end of this discussion goes like this. What I had to put out there just to further the discussion, because my intent is to further the dialogue. I would like a response to what I'm saying now. All right, because I'm not here to say if I'm right or wrong, but I am going to tell you my opinion, and most of my opinions just so happen to coincide with the Bible. All right, the whole reason why I find this particular discussion very, very important, in fact, crucial, is that biblically speaking, now, first of all, this is the Bible in which that I like to talk about. I know a lot of people out there think it's a book full of fairy tales and whatever else. That's fine. That is fine. You could do this. However, Caitlyn also believed in the God and the Jesus of that particular Bible. I have no choice but to understand this evidence and take it in as being significant. I have no choice but to do that. All right. So, knowing a little bit more about the Bible than young Caitlyn, because Caitlyn never really got the opportunity. Knowing a little bit more about the Bible, I do want to talk about love. I want to discuss love and have a dialogue about what it is, because what I want to explain briefly for the people who are not familiar, I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it because I feel like it's crucial. Biblically speaking, love, it doesn't happen all these myriad of different ways that people around here say it does. Like I love a grilled cheese sandwich. Love does not happen that way. All right, that is us being kind of absurd and stupid. It's almost like playing God, because you can't love a grilled cheese sandwich. All right, and that being said, I know that's an extreme, but what I try to put across from what I've seen, from what's written about biblically speaking, love, actual love, only comes from God. Only. It only comes from God. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to do this and that religion or believe this and that certain way. What I'm trying to say is the creator of all things, that people, even if you don't want to call him God, the beginning of all things, that is where love comes from. Right? Biblically speaking, to my particular opinion, it only comes down to the earth in one way. Period. The end of the story is according to the Bible. Now, the thing is, like I said, I'm very open to discussion and dialogue. Please, let's share evidence. Let's really talk about it and see where results are going to come. But the thing is, biblically speaking, I have to remind you, love, actual love, only comes from one place, and that's God. It then goes to man, which is to say, like myself, and I know that sounds very selfish, I did not write the Bible. It goes to a grown man, perhaps with a beard. All right, a grown man. All right, he gives, God gives love to Jesus, which is his son. Jesus, as you'll note, is a man. Very clearly. Thing is, that's very crucial to understand, that Jesus was a man, and not only that, there's plenty of reason behind that. And at the same time, he really wasn't a man. He's just a piece of God, basically, in flesh form. All right, but he looked like a man. He had a beard. All right, so let's think about this. Love goes from Jesus to man. All right, because in a sense, man is supposed to stand up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. What did Jesus do? Do you see where it's like a pattern? Okay, man represents Jesus because Jesus also stood up for people who could not stand up for themselves. That is, in essence, what Jesus does, all right? And man was given the capabilities to do just the same. This is why, traditionally speaking, a man has always put his life on the line for a woman, for his children, because they can't stand up for themselves. They're not big enough. They're not strong enough, unfortunately. They're not loud enough. So traditionally speaking, a man, that's his place. There's an order to it. The order is not deviated from. All right. So Jesus gives love to a man, not in a sexual way. Jesus had nothing to do with anything ever sexual. He gives love to the man. The man then gives love to his wife. All right. Not his girlfriend at all, ever. Not any of this. All right, you might say he gives love to his mother and his father because that's where he comes from. All right, but nobody else does he give love to. He gives love to nobody else. He might have all sort of friends. He might have brothers and stuff, and everything. He might have people out there who he really, really, really enjoys their company. He does not love them, not biblically speaking. He does not love them. He really, really likes them. I do want to take a moment out to say, and I do bring it up, in lots of languages, the word love doesn't even exist. It's almost as though we're making it up. Because if you go to Russian, certain Russian dialects and stuff, the word love don't even exist. All right? You understand that we're using the word love in which a lot of cultures don't even have that word. All right, so I'm explaining a specific way that love actually happens. Love goes from the father or the man to the wife. All right, they get married. The way of things is to have children after that. I understand that that's not happening. That didn't happen with me either. Trust me, I know. It's across the board. But the thing is, the way that love traditionally happens is the man and wife get married. The man loves the woman. The woman needs that man. Ultimately, traditionally speaking, and I know so many people are going to disagree with me, go ahead. But biblically speaking, the woman needs that man. The man does not really need that woman. The man's going to survive either way. The woman's never going to be happy or peaceful in her heart without that man. Traditionally speaking, biblically speaking, this is why she gets love from the man. The man does not get love from the woman. And there's a lot of Hispanic cultures and all sort of other cultures that will tell you the same thing. The man never receives love from the woman. That's not how love works. The man receives respect from that woman. All right. And that's enough for that man. A man will be good with that. As long as he has her respect, everything's good. All right. The woman needs love from the man. The man, he got it from Jesus. Jesus got it from God. That's the way that it works. And like I said, of course, it's up to discussion, but I want to make it very clear where I'm coming from. All right. So the love goes from the man to the wife then down to the children. All right. The man doesn't traditionally hand down love to the children. He hands it to his wife, and then the wife looks after the children. Debate me on whether or not that's traditional form. All right, because usually be the woman staying at home with the children while the man's going off and doing some stuff, getting some stuff done, getting that money, and really hunting down meat and all sort of other stuff. All right, so it goes man, woman, children. That's what I want to explain. Biblically speaking, all right, this is where this all comes into play. I know I've been prefacing, but biblically speaking, a woman is not equipped to give love. Remember that I said that. And I know 99% of people in the world not going they're going to be tripping. But here's the thing, a woman's not capable of giving love. Like I said, it goes from Jesus to the man. Period. So it goes from Jesus to the man to the woman. Now there are specific exceptions where a woman gets her love directly from Jesus or from God. This is in the way which where like people become nuns and stuff, or people just go off in the woods and they don't procreate at all. All right. That can happen, but in essence, traditionally how it works is a woman will never find peace or happiness until she finds the man that she needs to give her love. And this is all biblically. There's evidence for all this in the Bible. All right. And so therefore, let's take into hypotheticals. Think about if the woman hates the man, right? You know, how it happens these days is, you know, you get married or whatever, you wind up having a divorce, and then you hate each other. That's how it works. All right. So so the woman winds up hating the man, right? And in this sense with Tammy, obviously she hated Kaylin's father, hated him. All right. So biblically speaking, what I want to put out there, what I want to put forth is she cannot, in a biblical sense, love her daughter. She can love her daughter in a worldly sense, whatever that means. And certainly she did. But in a biblical sense, she did not love her daughter. All right. And I know that seems very harsh, like I'm being very judgmental. I'm just telling you what's in that book. And we can take it and consider it. We can talk about it and throw it around. But it is in that book. The daughter really can't love the children without first acknowledging and respecting the father. It's just not even possible. And I know that sounds unfair. But there's lots of reasons why the formula has to work this way. All right, in order to be successful. But let me just finish off the video like this. When you have that formula, when going from God to Jesus to man to wife to children, when you have that formula, the more that you have it, the more and more you have it in society, the more manners you'll know in society, the more working together that you'll know as a community. You don't have to love your neighbor in the same way that you love your wife. You don't have to love, you know, strangers and things like this in the way that you love your wife. But see, the way that you love your wife, that's actually the top. That is the cream of the crop. That's in fact the only way that love exists. Everything else is infatuation. Everything else is adoration and stuff. I can tell you right now, I adore my nieces. I adore them. I wish I could be around them all the time. I just had another niece. I adore these nieces. I would do pretty much anything for them. All right. And I think they know that. The thing is, they get love from their parents. They get love, and it comes from their mom, and which comes from their dad. Period. All right. And there is no other way around it, speaking biblically. All right. I'm not trying to hate anybody or hunt anybody down, but I am trying to tell y'all out there, I do definitely disagree with you. I do definitely disagree. So I think there's plenty of opportunity to have a lot of thoughtful discussion. And I just want to finish off by saying, anybody out there, YouTube commenter or otherwise and stuff, you want to have a thoughtful conversation, I mean, where we at the end of the day maybe agree to disagree and shake each other's hands, if you will. If you want to do that, I love doing that. I adore doing that, actually. Biblically speaking, I don't love it, but I adore it and I welcome it. So holler at me. Holler at me if you like that kind of stuff. It's January the 28th, 2018. And I'll holler at some of y'all later.